Long before bustling cities, modern law enforcement, and forensic science, early America was a land of mystery, superstition, and danger. In the quiet villages, dense forests, and cobblestone streets of the colonies, life could be unpredictable and sometimes deadly. Crimes occurred that shook entire communities, but without modern tools or even organized police. Many of these acts remain shrouded in mystery. Imagine walking home at night under the dim glow of a lantern, hearing whispers of a neighbor who vanished without a trace or stumbling upon a scene so strange that even the local magistrate could not make sense of it. The air was thick with fear, rumors spread like wildfire, and sometimes entire towns wondered if dark forces rather than human hands were at work. These weren't ordinary thefts or quarrels. They were crimes that challenged logic, defied explanation, and left haunting questions that echo to this day. From sudden disappearances to murders so bizarre that no one could comprehend them. The early colonies were rife with unsolved enigmas that inspired both terror and fascination. Tonight, we journey into the shadowed corners of history, uncovering the strangest unsolved crimes in early America, exploring the chilling details, the twisted rumors, and the eerie silence left by perpetrators who vanished without a trace. Each story is a window into a world where justice was fragile and where mystery often prevailed over truth, reminding us that some secrets refuse to be solved no matter how much time passes. In the early 1600s, Jamestown was a fledgling colony, struggling against disease, hunger, and the unknown. Among the settlers, one case stands out as particularly chilling. A settler was found dead under circumstances that baffled the entire colony. No wounds marked his body, no enemies confessed, and the local authorities were powerless to explain the event. Rumors spread quickly. Some whispered it was poison, others claimed supernatural forces. The fear of the unknown gripped the community, and the victim's family never found closure. Historians today can only speculate. But the mystery of the Jamestown ghost murder remains one of the earliest unsolved crimes in American history, a haunting reminder of the perilous life in the colonies. Moving ahead to the late 1600s in Salem village, a place already steeped in fear and hysteria, a young woman vanished without a trace. She had been seen walking through the village one evening and simply never returned home. Search parties scoured the surrounding woods, questioned neighbors, and consulted local ministers, yet no clue was ever found. Some believed she had been taken by witches, others whispered that she had been the victim of foul play. The atmosphere of paranoia only deepened the village's fear, as families locked their doors at night and legends of dark spirits lurking in the woods began to circulate. The Salem disappearance became a ghost story, passed down through generations. A chilling reminder of how easily fear can take root when justice is out of reach. In Boston, during the 1700s, the streets were bustling with merchants and craftsmen, but darkness always lurked nearby. One evening, a man was discovered hanging in a back alley, a length of rope tied around his neck. Yet there was no indication of who had done it or why. Investigators could find no witnesses, no fingerprints, and no motive. The community was horrified not only because of the brutality of the act, but because it seemed to have no explanation. The case came to be known as the Boston Rope Murder, and over time, it inspired countless theories: a personal vendetta, secret society's involvement, or even revenge by someone from another colony. No matter the speculation, the truth remained elusive, leaving a stain of unease over the city. Around the same period, travelers along early American roads faced a threat that was even more elusive. A highwayman, or perhaps a group, roamed the countryside, robbing carriages and, in some cases, killing travelers in cold blood, known only through witness reports and hastily posted bounty notices. This criminal earned the nickname the Phantom Highwayman. No matter how many attempts were made to capture him, he always disappeared without a trace. Townspeople feared walking the roads at night, and legends of his exploits grew more exaggerated with each retelling. Was it a single cunning criminal or a network of thieves? The answer was never found, and the roads remained haunted by the memory of those unsolved assaults. Finally, in the late 1700s, there was the case of the mysterious letter murder. A prominent merchant received an anonymous letter warning him of imminent danger. But before he could act, he was found murdered under circumstances so strange that even seasoned investigators were baffled. The letter's origin could not be traced, and no suspect was ever identified. The crime sparked panic, speculation, and paranoia among the merchant class, as people wondered if someone within their own circles could strike so ruthlessly. Even decades later, historians have puzzled over the case, analyzing old records, letters, and accounts. But the identity of the murderer remains unknown, a ghostly figure lost to history. These crimes, separated by decades and miles, share a common thread. They were unsolvable, terrifying, and left communities grasping for answers that never came. In an age without modern policing or forensic science, even the simplest cases could spiral into confusion, fear, and legend. Each story reflects not only the darkness of human behavior, but also the fragility of early colonial life, where survival was uncertain and justice often impossible. The unsolved mysteries of Jamestown, Salem, Boston, the open roads, and even private merchant homes remind us that history is filled with shadows, and some secrets refuse to be uncovered, no matter how desperately we search. These chilling stories from early America remind us that history is not just dates and events. It is also a tapestry of unsolved mysteries, of lives cut short and questions that remain unanswered. The victims of these strange crimes never saw justice, and the perpetrators vanished into the shadows, leaving only fear, rumors, and legend behind. Even centuries later, we are drawn to these mysteries, fascinated by the unknown and haunted by the thought that some truths may never be revealed. Perhaps the forests still whisper their secrets. The cobblestone streets still remember those lost, and the darkness of the past still lingers in corners of history we cannot illuminate. These unsolved crimes are more than stories. They are echoes of a world where life was fragile, danger was ever present, and some mysteries refused to be solved. If these tales of early American mystery left you unsettled and curious, remember that history is filled with shadows waiting to be explored. Who knows what other secrets lie buried in the past, just beyond our reach?